Now joining NBA Today, the aforementioned Kelsey Mitchell. Congrats on your hello and congrats on your 34-point performance. What did you have working there in Game 1 for you?
I think it was just about having confidence, for one, leaning on my preparation.
Kelsey Mitchell just dropped the most explosive interview in WNBA history. The Indiana Fever veteran completely destroyed the league's fake narrative about Caitlin Clark. Mitchell didn't hold back one bit when she exposed how the WNBA has been systematically setting up their biggest star for failure. This isn't some random accusation from a bitter player. Mitchell has been in the league for years. She's seen everything behind closed doors, and now she's finally speaking the truth about what's really happening to Caitlin Clark. The interview started innocent enough. Mitchell was supposed to talk about her amazing 34-point performance. Instead, she went completely off script and started revealing secrets that the WNBA definitely doesn't want you to know. Here's where things get absolutely wild. Mitchell straight up said that Caitlin Clark changed the entire world of basketball, but then she added something that made everyone's jaw drop. She said the league has been punishing Clark for being too successful too fast.
And then you bring in Caitlin, who changed the world, changed the dynamic of basketball. And as a friend and as a player, you grow to appreciate her because, you know, certain doors have opened because she's come to the Fever, and you have to respect that. And I love the teammate and person in her because she's accepted it with so much grace and even welcomed us with open arms to, you know, make this thing happen. So I think it just took a lot of big pieces to make, you know, what it is now.
Mitchell revealed that from day one, Clark walked into a hostile environment. The WNBA wasn't celebrating their new superstar. They were trying to figure out how to control her. Mitchell watched it all happen right in front of her eyes. The veteran guard explained how Clark brought sold-out arenas and massive TV deals to Indiana. But instead of being grateful, the league started creating problems. They began questioning every move Clark made.
I'm pretty sure somebody took care of it for her. I love it because as much people don't know this about Caitlin, but she has an unbelievable, like, funny sense of humor. And so I think the tweet was the tweet, but you just have to know CC to know that it's just nothing but love coming from that kid, and her energy and her effort to just kind of like support our team is just her way of doing it.
Every celebration became controversial. Every confident statement got twisted into arrogance. But that's just the beginning of this crazy story. Mitchell exposed how the WNBA has been using media manipulation to create negative narratives about Clark. They've been feeding stories to reporters about locker room drama that doesn't even exist. Mitchell was furious about this because she's actually friends with Clark. She sees how Clark treats everyone with respect. She watches Clark welcome teammates and handle pressure with incredible maturity. Yet the league keeps pushing stories about Clark being difficult or selfish. The most shocking part came when Mitchell talked about that infamous fine tweet. Remember when Clark made a joke about getting fined and everyone lost their minds? Mitchell revealed that the team was actually laughing about it.
You guys have made the playoffs the last two. What's been the big turnaround? How have you viewed the way the team has grown organically?
Oh, man, I think a big shout out to the organization taking time to rebuild. I think our draft picks ended up coming big. Lexi Hall was a big draft pick, and then you get Kaylin, and then you get AB. And so you culminate that together with, you know, my experience and having to, you know, go through a couple things before they got there. I think it was just like a match made in heaven, really, because I was, you know, still at a young age to really, you know, vibe and get to know these players for who they were.
They loved Clark's sense of humor, but somehow the media turned it into a massive controversy. Mitchell said this happens constantly. Clark does something normal, and the league finds a way to make it look bad. It's like they have a whole department dedicated to creating Clark drama where none exists. Now, here's where Mitchell really started spilling the tea. She revealed that WNBA executives have been holding secret meetings about the Caitlin Clark situation. These weren't normal strategy sessions. These were damage control meetings because Clark's success was making other players and teams look bad. Mitchell explained that the league never expected Clark to have this kind of impact. They thought she'd be just another good rookie who would quietly fit into their existing system. Instead, Clark completely broke their system and forced everyone to step up their game. The veteran guard dropped a bombshell when she said league officials have been pressuring veteran players to speak out against Clark. They wanted established stars to criticize Clark's style or question her readiness for professional basketball.
I thought it was really poor, really poor.
Kelsey Mitchell, what about the way she was playing today made it so difficult?
Well, one, she made every freaking shot, it seemed like. Long twos, short twos, threes, get the free throw line. You know, she had a hot night.
Most players refuse because they actually respect Clark's game. But wait, it gets even more insane. Mitchell revealed that the WNBA has been deliberately scheduling Indiana Fever games at terrible times to limit Clark's exposure. They've been putting Fever games on weekday afternoons when fewer people can watch. Meanwhile, other teams get primetime slots. This makes absolutely no sense from a business perspective. Clark brings in the biggest audiences in WNBA history. Any smart league would be showcasing their biggest draw every chance they get, but instead they're trying to hide her success.
Now, you were an MVP finalist this year with our own Chiney Ogwumike even saying that you had the best season of any guard this year in the league. What has it been like to get that kind of recognition and get your flowers?
Oh, I appreciate it. I've been to a lot throughout the course of my career with Indiana Fever.
Mitchell also exposed how referees have been getting special instructions about Clark. She said the officiating has been suspiciously one-sided in games involving Indiana. Clark gets called for fouls that other players never get called for. Meanwhile, obvious fouls against Clark get ignored constantly. The most disgusting part is how they've been targeting Clark's confidence. Mitchell revealed that league officials have been making comments designed to mess with Clark's head. They question her shot selection, they criticize her defensive effort, they find fault with everything she does perfectly. And then Mitchell dropped the biggest bomb of all. She said the WNBA has been actively working to prevent Clark from breaking certain records. They've been changing game situations and limiting Clark's minutes in blowout wins to keep her statistics down. Mitchell was absolutely disgusted by this behavior. She said Clark has earned every accolade and record through pure talent and hard work. The idea that the league would sabotage their own players' achievements is completely backwards. The veteran also revealed how they've been manipulating media coverage. Positive Clark stories get buried while negative stories get promoted. The league's media partners have been told to focus on controversy instead of celebrating Clark's incredible accomplishments. Mitchell said she finally decided to speak out because she couldn't watch this injustice continue. Clark deserves better from the league she's single-handedly elevating to new heights. Let's dig deeper into the referee conspiracy that Mitchell exposed. The veteran guard revealed specific examples of how officials have been instructed to handle Caitlin Clark differently than every other player in the league. This isn't just bad officiating. This is coordinated bias at the highest levels. Mitchell said she's watched referees make calls against Clark that they would never make against established veterans. Technical fouls for celebrations that other players do constantly. Offensive fouls for moves that superstars have been using for decades. Traveling calls on perfectly legal plays that Clark executes flawlessly. The most obvious example happened during Clark's rookie season. Mitchell witnessed referees literally discussing how to contain Clark's impact during timeouts. They weren't talking about normal game management. They were strategizing about limiting Clark's effectiveness through questionable calls. But here's the part that made Mitchell absolutely furious. She revealed that referees have been allowing opposing players to get away with dirty plays against Clark. Hard fouls that would normally result in flagrant penalties get called as common fouls. Sometimes they don't get called at all. Mitchell said she's seen players specifically target Clark with cheap shots because they know the referees won't protect her. Veterans have been teaching younger players that Clark is fair game for rough treatment. The league's officials are basically giving everyone permission to beat up their biggest star. This creates a dangerous situation for Clark's safety and career longevity. Mitchell pointed out that every great player in WNBA history got superstar treatment from referees. They got favorable calls and protection from dirty plays. Clark gets the opposite treatment despite being the league's most valuable player. Now get ready for this absolutely ridiculous revelation. Mitchell exposed how the league has been pressuring broadcast teams to downplay Clark's achievements during games. Commentators have been told to focus on other players even when Clark is having historic performances. The veteran guard said she's watched Clark drop 30 points and grab 10 assists while announcers spend most of the game talking about her teammates' contributions. This isn't accidental, it's a deliberate strategy to prevent Clark from getting the recognition she deserves. Mitchell also revealed that statistical tracking has been manipulated in games involving Clark. Assists that should clearly count for Clark mysteriously don't make it into the official statistics. Defensive plays get credited to other players. Even basic counting stats like rebounds rebounds and steals have been altered. And then Mitchell shared something that proves how deep this conspiracy goes. She said league executives have been meeting with broadcast partners to discuss limiting Clark's screen time during games. They want cameras focusing on other players even when Clark is making incredible plays. This is absolutely insane behavior from a professional sports league. Clark brings in massive television ratings and arena attendance. She's generating more revenue than the WNBA has seen in decades, yet they're actively working to minimize her impact and visibility. Mitchell said the other players on Indiana have noticed all these patterns too. They see how Clark gets treated differently by officials, media, and league executives. It's created a US versus everyone mentality that's actually made the team stronger and more united. What Mitchell revealed next will absolutely blow your mind. She exposed how WNBA executives have been secretly contacting other teams' players and coaches, trying to get them to publicly criticize Caitlin Clark. They've been offering incentives for negative comments and threatening consequences for positive statements about Clark. Mitchell said she received multiple phone calls from league officials asking her to tone down her praise for Clark. They told her that supporting Clark too enthusiastically was bad for the league's overall image. They wanted her to focus on other players and downplay Clark's contributions to Indiana's success. The veteran guard was shocked by these requests. She couldn't understand why the league would want to suppress positive stories about their biggest star. Mitchell said she refused every single request and decided to speak even more positively about Clark out of spite. But the manipulation goes way beyond phone calls. Mitchell revealed that the WNBA has been using their social media accounts to promote negative Clark content while burying positive stories. They've been amplifying every controversy and ignoring every achievement. The league's official Twitter and Instagram accounts have been posting highlights that deliberately exclude Clark's best plays. When Clark breaks records or has incredible performances, the social media team finds ways to focus on other aspects of the game instead of celebrating their superstar. Mitchell said this backwards approach is hurting the entire league. Clark brings in new fans who want to see more of her amazing basketball skills. Instead, the league gives them manufactured drama and controversy. These new fans get frustrated and stop following the WNBA altogether. Now, here's the most disgusting part of this whole scandal. Mitchell exposed how league executives have been pressuring sponsors to avoid featuring Clark in their advertisements. They've been telling corporate partners that Clark is too controversial and risky for marketing campaigns. This is completely insane considering Clark's massive popularity and marketability. She has millions of social media followers and generates incredible engagement numbers. Any smart sponsor would be fighting to get Clark in their commercials and promotional materials. Mitchell revealed that several major brands wanted to sign Clark for endorsement deals, but backed away after receiving calls from WNBA executives. The league was literally costing their own player millions of dollars in potential income while hurting their own revenue streams. The veteran guard said she's watched Clark handle all this pressure with incredible professionalism. Clark never complains publicly about the unfair treatment. She never makes excuses for poor officiating or biased media coverage. She just keeps working harder and playing better basketball. And then Mitchell dropped another bombshell about team meetings. She revealed that Indiana's coaching staff has had to develop special strategies just to deal with the biased officiating against Clark. They've had to change their entire game plan around the expectation that Clark won't get fair calls. Mitchell said other teams have noticed these patterns too. Opposing coaches have been instructing their players to be more physical with Clark because they know referees won't call fouls consistently. This has turned every Indiana game into a potential injury risk for their superstar. The veteran also exposed how the league has been manipulating all-star voting and award selections to prevent Clark from receiving recognition. Despite having obviously superior statistics and impact, Clark has been passed over for honors that she clearly deserved. Here's where Mitchell's revelations become absolutely explosive. She exposed how WNBA executives have been deliberately sabotaging Indiana Fever's playoff positioning to limit Caitlin Clark's postseason exposure. They've been manipulating schedules and game times to hurt the team's chances of success. Mitchell revealed that the league moved several crucial Fever games to back-to-back nights while giving their opponents extra rest days. This isn't normal scheduling quirks. This is systematic disadvantaging of the league's most popular team and player. The veteran guard said she's never seen anything like this in her entire career. Usually, leagues try to maximize their biggest stars' success because it's good for business. The WNBA is doing the exact opposite with Clark, and it's costing them millions in potential revenue. But wait until you hear about the merchandise conspiracy. Mitchell exposed how the league has been limiting Caitlin Clark jersey production and availability in team stores. Despite massive demand for Clark gear, fans consistently find empty shelves when trying to buy her merchandise. This isn't an accident or supply chain issue. Mitchell revealed that league executives have been deliberately keeping Clark merchandise scarce to prevent her from becoming too dominant in sales numbers. They're literally turning away money to suppress Clark's popularity metrics. The veteran said she's watched fans get frustrated and angry when they can't find Clark jerseys or other gear. These disappointed customers often leave without buying anything else. The league is losing sales across all players because of their ridiculous anti-Clark strategy. Mitchell also exposed how they've been manipulating television broadcast schedules. If you're shocked by these revelations about how the WNBA has been treating Caitlin Clark and want to see more exposés about what's really happening behind the scenes in professional sports, smash that subscribe button right now. Your support helps us keep bringing you the truth that other channels won't dare to cover.